Wow. Thank you very much, Rick. I can only hope that these next 10 to 15 minutes lives up to that wonderful introduction. Chair William Roy, faculty, staff, graduates, family, friends, it's truly an honor and privilege to have been asked to say some words to you today. Before I start, I'd like to quickly acknowledge my beautiful wife, Michelle, my daughter, Kristen, my son, Justin. Both Michelle and Kristen are UCLA grads. Class of 1977 and class of 2001. I actually met Michelle here 36 years ago. My son, Justin, just graduated from high school. He'll be attending Wagner College in New York next year. And unfortunately, my older son, John, was unable to join us today. He's living in New York with his lovely wife, Joyce. Let me start by congratulating each and one of you that now represents the graduating class, I should say the outstanding graduating class of 2009. The UCLA Department of Sociology is the largest in the country. This faculty has won many teaching awards and is ranked in the top 5 departments in the country. Now, I don't know how that makes you feel, but having a degree in sociology from UCLA, it makes me feel pretty darn good. The degree you now hold carries significant meaning and prestige. Your efforts, your hard work, your commitment, your dedication has now paid you the dividend of high achievement. So once again, my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. I have great respect for you. I commend you. Be proud of what you've now accomplished. When I was asked to be the keynote speaker for today's commencement, I was extremely flattered. But the more I thought about it, the pressure started to mount because I certainly wanted to say something that was helpful and meaningful. Believe me, playing quarterback in a Rose Bowl game and returning to punt in a Super Bowl game pales in comparison to the pressure I felt when I was thinking about what I was going to say to you today. Because I certainly don't want to say anything that's going to mess you up. So I thought, since we now have something very big in common, a degree in sociology from UCLA, that it would be best to briefly share some of my experiences and what I have learned along my life's path that brings me here today. In 1972, I was very fortunate to be awarded an athletic football award to attend UCLA. I had some wonderful and very memorable times with my teammates and coaches right over there at Spalding Field. I had the privilege to have been coached by some of UCLA's great football coaches, including Dick Vermeil, Terry Donahue, and Homer Smith. I had very good teammates, outstanding teammates that were true team players. I had many enjoyable and exciting games, and in particular, beating that school across town, USC. But my greatest experience at this university, and I mean this sincerely, is sitting right where you are today, receiving my degree, reflecting as my time as a student, and as a member of the Student Legislative Council, which included some pretty impressive achievers. And the faculty representatives like Rick Tuttle, who had a positive influence on my college days. And of course, the fun and exciting times that this campus and environment provides. Oh yeah, just like the class of 2009, the class of 1976 did have some fun. Believe it or not, the word fun did exist in 1976. After completing classes my senior year, I was drafted by the Chicago Bears of the National Football League, but I opted to sign a contract with the British Columbia Lions of the Canadian Football League. Now, the Canadian football season starts in June, and training camp started in May. I was adamant that there be a clause in my contract that would allow me to leave training camp to attend my graduation ceremony, right there in Drake Stadium. Like you, it was very important for me to experience this wonderful event. I played 2 years in the Canadian Football League, and the following 6 years with the Philadelphia Eagles of the National Football League, where I competed in Super Bowl 15. As I reminisce about my college and my athletic career, both college and pro, I am forever thankful for the lessons of life that I learned from team sport and the respective competition. Just like some of you who have been part of a group striving to achieve a certain goal within a limited time frame, I now have a better and real understanding of relationships, camaraderie, excitement, adversity, success, the ups, the downs, the momentum shifts, intensity, and emotions that depict everything that happens throughout everyday life. For me, football was living life in 60 minutes. In 1977, while in my second year of professional football, I decided it'd be best to find an additional and different career opportunity. Because, as one of our more famous alums and your classmate, Troy Aikman, will attest, football is hazardous to your health. So I did not want the owner of a professional football team to tell me when I earned my last dollar, and back then, the salaries were not as rich as they are today. I needed another option. Take note, options are good. It's always best to have options. Now, keeping with the what we have in common theme, I was often asked, what was I going to do with my sociology degree? The difficult thing for me was finding an industry that would allow me the flexibility to have two professions. I found one, the insurance industry. Now, to be quite frank, I was a little hesitant, but I ultimately concluded it was the best option at the time. Well, when I met with the branch manager of the insurance industry to discuss my job in his intimidating office, he had this big brass placard on his desk with his name on it. He had this other brass placard on his desk with the word empathy on it. And after the salutation and the greeting and the small talk, he pointed to that word, empathy, and asked me if I knew its meaning. Now, this astute faculty of this awesome institution would have been extremely proud of me, because I said yes. It means the capacity for experiencing the feelings and thoughts of another. The branch manager was actually impressed, and he basically said I would do well because I understood the key to doing and conducting business. Now, if there's anything that this faculty and this Department of Sociology has taught you over these past 4 years, and for some of you a little longer, it is the meaning of the word empathy. You all know its meaning, and we all know that it is what we have learned and understand about what people have and don't have in common that is one of the important lessons within our education. If everyone was empathetic, with a little dose of compassion and sympathy, this world would be a better place. The education that you've now received becomes the foundation for your future. Whatever vocation you choose, it should be comforting to know that the knowledge you have gained with this sociology degree from UCLA will afford you many options. Most jobs, when doing them well, requires the ability to cordially interact with your prospects, your clients, and equally important, your coworkers. Now, I eventually transitioned from the insurance business to the qualified retirement plan administration business, which is somewhat of a connected field and industry. I built a practice with 2 other UCLA alums, servicing over 500 retirement plans. I sold my interest in 1985 to them, about 2 years after I retired from professional football. I then joined Dun & Bradstreet Pension Services, whom after 9 years exited the business. There were 3 successor owners, including First Data and PNC Bank. I acquired one of the business lines from PNC Bank in June of 2001 and formed National Retirement Services, Inc. I've worked for both public and privately held organizations, and I've come to believe that every job in every industry, whatever it may be, is commendable and equally important, as long as it's legal. It is the level of responsibility and authority that defines the difference of important. It is what I call the teeter-totter within a job position. The greater the responsibility, the greater the authority. Not much responsibility, not much authority. Where there's an imbalance of responsibility and authority, you have an awkward situation, which will ultimately evolve to be non-productive. Over a 32-year career, I've experienced many challenges, some difficult times, and some very good and enjoyable times. There is no question that I have learned much, much more from the difficult and challenging times, but realize it's always important to enjoy the good times. I've also learned to always be humble and never get too satisfied and comfortable in your achievement. There's an old saying, when you think you're coasting, you're probably going downhill. As we all know, the current economy has slowed and the job market is not very robust. Do not use that as an excuse to be non-productive. We all heard that some of the best opportunities are presented in the most difficult times. Well, it's true. It is easy to get caught up in all the negativity, the naysayers, and the hard luck stories. Do not give it any energy, because it is what it is, so it is best to deal with it in a positive light. Because if you don't, it's only going to get worse. Stick with the things you enjoy and know best. Be strong in your pursuit of your chosen desires and only deviate through knowledge. It appears that parts of our economic system lacks intelligence, only to be trumped by lack of character. Having said that, if there's anything we need more of, it's good management and leadership. I feel confident that there are leaders in this graduating class. Typically, a good leader is one with strong character and integrity, and that's true. But it's important to note that most often a leader starts off his or her career by doing the task and working and completing projects that no one else wants to do or has the desire or discipline to do them. As a result, that person becomes a leader because he or she has invested the time to learn what, how, and when to do all the things required to achieve success. Now, I've never been one to get caught up in all the non-productive minutia that seems to always slow down progress and production. I call that milking a mouse, which forces the law of diminishing return. Never lose sight of the objective and focus on the task at hand. Give your ears a chance and listen to credible people with experience. Now, some of you may have heard of the KISS method. And no, it's not some kind of kinky sexual thing. It's an acronym for Keep It Simple, Stupid. Now, I like to keep things simple. So simply put, I break life down this way. There are 3 dimensions to life. There is your personal time. That is where you do the things you love to do and what makes you happy. There's production time. That is where you work to support, enjoy the lifestyle you have chosen. There's spiritual time, whatever that may be, to clear your mind, seek guidance and peace. It will be the percentage of time that you invest in each of these 3 dimensions of your life that will define your person. Hopefully, you will find the right balance that makes you comfortable and happy and brings you peace. Some of you will continue with your education, some of you will take some time off, and some of you will pursue an employment opportunity. But whatever you do, be productive. And in your efforts to be productive, stay organized and always do the things you promised you said you would do. Most importantly, be kind and respectful to others and maintain strong character and integrity. There are 2 simple words in the English language that are extremely powerful when said together. These 2 words are thank you. The question will always remain, is it more noble to be the deliverer or the receiver of those 2 words? Whatever the answer, use them often when appropriate. Michael Josephson wrote, "Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident. It's not a matter of circumstance, but of choice. Choose a life that matters." In closing, I would like to say to you the words that the great John Wooden wrote on my copy of his Pyramid of Success. Best wishes always, in all ways. Go Bruins! Thank you.